My apologies for the lack of content over the weekend. I've been struck down by Nurgle's plague, but here to help heal me is Slade's Gun Empire build, facing off against the foul forces of Nurgle here. He's got some rank 9 Hellblaster volley guns, 2 of them here in sort of a front position, main position here. We've got another one here, looks like some Knights of the Blazing Sun. Yeah, 4 in total, rank 9 Hellblaster volley guns. We've also got some rank 9 Free Company Militia, including the Sterling's Revenge Regiment of Renown. Also got the Zintler's Reichsguard Regiment of Renown. And, yeah, then those 2 Knights of the Blazing Suns here. Lord of Light, and just a regular, generally the Empire to go cheap as possible for the Lord. Already here, this Chaos Sorcerer Lord of Nurgle. You can see how much of a difference that accuracy buff from the chevrons makes on the Hellblaster, as he just gets absolutely machine gunned here. Barons of the Bog, some Plague Bears. We've also got some Chaos Poison Warhounds, Chaos Furies, Cultist of Nurgle, some Nurglings, Spawn, Festering Stooges, more Plague Bears over here, and another Cultist. So, quite the rush build from Nurgle. Of course, losing that much HP on your Lord that quickly is definitely going to hurt, but let's see how they can recover. Of course, he can heal himself back up and get back in the fight, but that will require Nurgle to use a lot of their resources to heal their own Lord, which is definitely going to feel pretty bad. But the Empire, Slade here, doesn't have his cavalry quite close enough to protect these guns, so it does look like the Nurgle rush going to land here, take out these veteran Hellblaster volley crews. Their veterancy will only help so much, although Knights of the Blazing Sun get a nice little side charge in here to help support this engagement. We've also got the other Knights of the Blazing Sun moving over here. Yeah, unfortunately, Hellblaster volley gun crew not able to be saved in that instance. This one holding out okay, although they might actually, yeah, they're going to break here. Let's see, 16 crewmen left. They could come back and recruit to get some artillery, but anyway, the other 2 blasting away at whatever can come close, and the Free Company also just kind of holding out right now. Sterling's Revenge take a nice AoE damage attack there, that Plague Breath, Pestilent Breath. Is that the one for this game? I think it's actually called Pestilent Breath. Stream of Corruption. I think I was mistaken. That was, in fact, the Skaven one. A brutal rear charge here from the Zintler's Reichsguard. Quick hit and run. Send those Plague Bears into demonic instability. The Spawn also just taking side shots from the Hellblasters is definitely uncomfortable. And although Slade did lose the 2 Hellblasters on his left side, for the most part, Cavalry's been able to come in here and keep those the Furies and other mobile units kind of tied up so they can't disengage and wheel around to take out these other 2 expensive artillery pieces. But Barons of the Bog here are going to be more than what the Knights of Blazing Sun can handle in a sustained combat, so they're going to pull away there. Zintler's Reichsguard also take a disgusting volley of Death's Heads from the Festering Stooges here as they momentarily are forgotten about, while Slade's microing things elsewhere. It's going to be some pretty brutal damage, but they should get on the move here soon. Free Company Militia also starting to win out on that flank. We get a big overcast net here to catch those Furies and other units as they were trying to rush back and get back after those volley guns. Disengaged from the Knights here, but the Knights going to do a good enough job routing the Hounds, obviously. The Barons of the Bog will be a little bit tougher, but oh yeah, clutch Hellblaster volley crew just running in right behind. Get on these guns ASAP. The Nurgle player might not have even noticed here. Does have some units that could come in and respond and shut this down very quickly, but if he doesn't in time, could end up costing him. We see also the Nurglings filtering in there, getting on that. Hellblaster volley gun, yeah, the Warhound's starting to shatter, which means it's just the Barons of the Bog, and the Knights of the Blazing Sun should be able to keep them in it for now. Yeah, looks like the Barons of the Bog might be suffering some leadership issues, potentially. The flaming damage also will reduce the healing received, if any, from Nurgle here. But the Nurgle Lord has long since been extinguished, so there's not really a lot of healing besides just the Fecundity Army ability available here, and Nurgle definitely have some very tanky, sturdy units, but the slowness of them is definitely coming back to haunt Nurgle as they're just struggling to cut through these Free Company here. See the Cultist getting in deep here, running through their lines. Festering Stooges, of course, going to get their extra defensiveness buffs. But even this Nurgling that managed to land, the Hellblaster volley crew is still fighting. And this other one able to get back online. They've got, what, all 4 guns operational? So that is quite good for the Empire. Slade looking to be in a very commanding position here. General himself has taken basically no damage this entire time. Yep, Barons of the Bog going to face their demonic instability, and now Nurgle with most of their troops. Well, they've got a decent little blob here, but everything else is kind of separated out, and even that blob, I mean, they're sitting on the low ground, getting shelled from multiple directions by Hellblaster shots. You can kind of see how the Hellblasters have a slight high ground position on them, which is going to confer some very minor bonuses, but still, from a visual standpoint, it's absolutely spectacular. Watching those guns just blast away there. Looks like they're trying to target the cultists specifically, which is definitely a good call. Try to get rid of that rude leadership. Any of the overshots will come and hit the Pestering Stooges anyway, and just a back-breaking net here. Absolutely devastating. Free Company firing in, and it's just the full concave of destruction for the Empire guns firing in. Yeah, Free Company blasters. This blaster does eventually get taken out. Another rallied Warhound comes back and is able to get that one, but the summon drops, and with that, demonic instability takes hold of most of the Nurgle army, and it's going to be victory for the Empire. And victory over my cold, hopefully, within the next couple of days. Big thanks to Slade for popping that one in the Discord. I always appreciate it. Yeah, Free Company all get some nice value, pretty much paying for themselves, even with chevrons. Likewise, we'll actually investigate some of the costs after this, but the Hellblaster volley guns are actually all cost-effective as well, which is, you know, quite surprising, again, given their XP chevrons. The money spent on them. For Zombie Meister here, definitely lived up to his name with a very kind of all-in Nurgle Walker build. Unfortunately, wasn't able to overwhelm his mobility. Just wasn't quite enough. He had a decent amount, and those that he did had all pretty much paid for themselves. But not having quite enough mobility, going maybe a little bit too infantry-centric, definitely pays the price for it against the Empire. And just to, again, go over Empire units, this is sort of a meta-analysis, but just in general, Empire units tend to be the best to chevron for a number of reasons, but the main thing is to look at is like, well, number one, the swordsman is literally the yardstick by which all of their units are measured in the game. I was actually having a discussion about one of the about this recently with one of the battle devs. That the swordsman, it probably will never see dramatic balance changes because it is literally like the unit which a lot of the extrapolation of various other units are based off of, right? It's the unit that Creative Assembly kind of looks to test a lot of things in performance of the game, which is interesting. But one interesting thing about them is they just have like decently cost-effective stats here and no special abilities. All these special abilities you do pay for, right? So if I think about, like, if I come in here to High Elves, just as an example, even their basic spearmen come with this martial prowess, which you do pay for. It's probably about an extra 50 gold cost on top of the base cost of the unit, right? Without that, you could easily see this unit costing 450, 425, right? Which is why when you're buying XP chevrons, you're paying for on the base cost of the unit, right? So you are paying for these abilities which don't get upgraded. It's only these stats here that get upgraded, right? Which is why Empire units tend to chevron very cost effectively, because you can, all of the cost is going into only their stats, right? Instead of going into these special abilities, if that makes sense at all. But anyway, all that to say, the Regiment Renown Free Company and the full chevron Free Company, actually full chevron are cheaper by a good amount. They don't have armor piercing damage, so it makes sense. But very good stats, 32, 36, pretty, I mean, for the cost, maybe not totally ideal, but you think about like similar sort of hybrid units, right? The Lothar and Seaguard are maybe not a totally fair comparison because they have an actual spear, which does give them a really nice advantage in a number of combats, but you can see how, like, the Free Company just have plus 14 melee attack on them, right? And I mean, that's not factoring in with martial prowess, but even still, they're quite comparable units for a similar cost, to be honest. Lothar and Seaguard, again, have an advantage with that spear and charge defense, but in general, actually decently cost effective. And then, like, even the Hellblaster volley gun, right? We saw the accuracy buff there was able to gun down the Nurgle sorcerer in a number of seconds, right? And his lifetime was measured in moments. So again, is that actually worth it in general? Probably not, but it is something to consider, that the extra accuracy and fire rate means you can dump DPS with high DPS units you can increase that DPS even further, right? So definitely some things to consider. Hopefully you enjoyed that. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.